Today's broadcast is being brought to you by WokeSkipTracing.com. Look up phone numbers and email addresses with ease, with pricing as low as only 15 cents per match. Not per search, per match. If there's no number or email address, you don't pay. Get accurate data in just minutes. WokeSkipTracing.com. That's WokeSkipTracing.com. All right, I think we are live here. Let me put you on the screen. Share audio, share, boom. Let me take this off the screen.
Got a bunch of people popping up already, huh?
That's right, they getting reminders.
All right, asking questions.
They said they want some of that real estate talk.
Hey, good. Come to the right place.
Let's see here. How do I change this? There we go. Yep. So let's see here. So there's some. So yeah, I got us on live here on Facebook, Periscope, Twitch, the Woke Real Estate Investing Group. We're live with Rich Groves. What up, Rich?
What's going on, Chris? What's going on, man?
Another.
We got to get this done by like 6:58.
Oh, here he go. Must be time to eat.
No, it's time to watch Game 6.
Oh, the final game. What if they got to go to Game 7?
Well, then I'm nervous. No, I won't be nervous. I'll be okay. We got a good pick. That's all right. Hopefully, we don't have to worry about that. Just get it done. Take what they say. Take care of business.
I know that's right. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all see me? Put in the comments on there. It seems like we got like 9 or 10 people watching right now. Can you hear me? Can you see me? I want to make sure that. Oh no, you can't see me because I didn't put it on the screen. Hold on.
Oh really?
How do I do that? Oh, I guess that's the split screen thing. Or did I put the wrong camera up? Hold on. Did I do something wrong? Maybe it's me. Maybe I got the wrong camera up. Let's see. Zoom meeting. No, Zoom. Oh, I guess I have to wait till some other people pop in or something.
Gotcha.
So cool. So you work.
Go ahead, buddy. I was going to say I got something for you right away.
Oh, you do? What you got?
So I think I remember you talking about your very first deal. Was that in Walnut Park or something like that?
Walnut Park West. That's right.
Oh, I got a deal. I went to go look at a house on Laura, 6100 block of Laura. Right there, Walnut Park. It's like literally across the street from like Northwest School, High School or whatever. And not across the street, it's like a block away.
How much they want for it?
They want 15. I'm like, it's not gonna. No. Let me crunch my numbers. I think I might get you 1,500. No.
You can get it for about. If you can do about half of that. I mean, does it need work or something or what?
It's in decent shape. But yeah, it needs some work. It does. They've been living in it, for years and years and years. So it's got that. But they've done some things. They've done some things to it, but it's got that live-in, need some updates, kind of thing going on.
Oh, one of them kind of houses.
That's right. Hey, I brought in the family reinforcements on this.
Dang, he brought out the heavy hitters.
Yeah, we have Robert down there. I'm calling Robert. He's connecting audio. He's actually he's my pest control guy.
Oh, okay.
You got to get on here and tell people about what you do. Going on? Should I call you Robert or the other name?
Bob.
You're on mute. You're on mute. There should be on. Are you on the computer or screen there? Oh, what's going on, Kayla?
See, it's getting serious. Real reinforcements. Push the unmute.
Right. Help me unmute this.
And if anybody else is listening, if you want to join in, just go to wokerealestate.com. I'll put the link right there, and you can sign up from right there. Make it easy.
Awesome.
What's up, Robert Groves? How are you?
Oh, just fine. How about yourself?
All is well. So you handling the pest for everybody, huh?
Yeah.
I hear that's big business.
Yeah. It can be pretty profitable.
Because people are so afraid of every little creepy crawly. They're like, call somebody. Call me. How long you been doing that?
Well, I started my own business about 3 years ago, but I've been doing it for about 15 years.
Wow, that's good. At least you realize, let me step on over and do it myself. I'm doing it for this other fella. I can do it myself.
Yep.
Is there any type of pest you would consider yourself to be afraid of, or you're fearless?
I don't really like spiders, but if I got my can in my hand, I'm fine.
Spiders in every house, though. There ain't no house without a spider in it.
I know.
Hope you don't see it. Hope you don't run across it.
I say I don't think I ever been to a house without at least one spider somewhere.
Yeah,
but you need them. They gotta eat the other stuff, right?
Right.
Right. I mean, that was I had him over doing a house of mine that I'm getting ready to rehab back to rental, and we're for roaches and whatever, and looking around, and sure enough, there was a roach caught in a spider web.
Good job, Spider-Man got him.
Right. I was like, well, maybe I don't need you. It looks like these spiders are going to do the job for me.
Wrap them up and eat them for lunch. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
That's right.
Oh, you got a little kitty cat back there, Garfield.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, what? How you see my background? I ain't got no background. We see everything on cameras.
That's right.
We see that.
He gets into everything. Knocks everything down.
I know that's right.
Things the way he wants it.
I had my vision pole set up on a shelf up high, and it's sitting up there for 6 months. And I heard something back there in the washroom back there. He done had the spinner bait that tore off of it.
Wow. That's how they do you.
That was a cat toy.
So you're in the St. Louis area too, Robert?
I'm in southeast Missouri.
Oh, okay. Cape Girardeau.
Yep.
See?
40 minutes from Cape.
See, you ain't know I knew about down there. See? I know some people down there. Cape Girardeau, Kennett, all down in that little corridor. Southern Mo.
You work on properties up here in the Illinois, Missouri area, up in the St. Louis area, don't you?
Yes.
Oh, wow. So they call you and they say, would you come on out? Or how do you get people here in St. Louis from out there? Just marketing?
Well, got family that live up there, friends, and they, refer me.
It's easier to get a referral than anything else. A lot of people don't know that about business and any business. If somebody else can refer you, it's a whole lot easier conversation, ain't it?
Oh, yeah.
You ain't got to sell them on it like, oh, I can save the day with a cape on. You ain't got to do all that.
That's absolutely right. Absolutely. How do people get a hold of you?
Me?
Yep.
Phone. I've got a email, but mostly phone.
What's your phone number? I'm going to go ahead and let you tell us your phone number.
It's
this is being recorded, and it's being put on several different spots. Chris has got this going streaming live on his YouTube channel and a lot of other social media places. I posted out on my Hootie's House Fires Club page. But people, if they ever come,
you might get some phone calls. That's what he's trying to tell you. They finna call you and say, "Hey, man, I got roaches up to my eyeball. What can you do to get rid of these big old flying roaches?"
Exactly.
Yeah, it's 573-238-9166.
You got a cheat sheet up here or something?
It's sitting right across from me.
Right. Looks like we got Laura Lennington joining us.
Well, that's good. Double L, the licensed double L, triple L.
That's right. She's triple L now, man. What's going on?
Hey guys, how are you?
Not bad, Laura. How are you?
Good. Just driving home.
Nice. Do you have some business to take care of today?
Yeah. It went well. Everything's going good. Having one of those days in the flow today.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I brought in some more heavy hitters. I know you got in late, but we got Robert on here. My cousin. He's a pest control guy. So if you need some pests taken care of, I know he can help you out.
Awesome.
I don't mean people bothering you.
Yeah.
Say, I can send you on some.
We have a mouse. We get the mice where I live. Not like a bunch of them, but we live out kind of rural. So every winter you're going to have a mouse or two. And so I finally saw the first one on the main level, not even in the basement anymore. Ooh. This little sucker is running around. They're so cute. As long as there's only like one or two.
That's right.
Yeah, that duplex we got under contract up in North City on the second floor, there was a mouse. I'm like, how you get up here? I opened the door, went
They
in,
get
and I
all
saw
over the
him.
place.
I was wondering. I mean, it was we did a mouse race event one time a while back for the group I was involved with. We did one of those mouse races, and we didn't. It was the first time we ever did one, so we didn't know you're supposed to like kind of ahead of time set up a place for the mice to go afterwards. You know, either somebody takes some, or somebody said, "Well, you should let me know. I have a snake. You could have given it to me, or I'd have bought him from you, or whatever." But we didn't know, so we held on to them, thinking we're going to do with these mice. We put them in like a big Home Depot, like 5-gallon, bucket, and they all died overnight. We put like not a lid, like they didn't suffocate. We put like a cloth over it. So there was some kind of like a condensation or something. I don't know. They all got wet and they died. It was weird.
Water kills them?
I'm not saying that. I don't know. Maybe it was a combination of temperature. I mean, it wasn't like a total freezing.
Wow.
I don't know. You ever hear of that, Robert?
No.
I'm telling you. There's one.
I have we made a humane mouse trap at our house out of like a 5-gallon Home Depot bucket. Yeah, and so it's a way that the mice go into the. I won't explain it all here. We're here to talk real estate, but if anybody wants to catch mice without killing them like us, you can make these things. You can search them online, and you put peanut butter on a soda bottle, and they fall in, and then you take them out. And I was just thinking of like way out in the backyard, way out. No. They'll be back in 15 minutes, the same one. I had to start taking it in the car and driving it down like a couple miles out to make sure they wouldn't come back. But we could easily catch them without hurting them or killing them.
You're the one dropping them off of my rentals. I see how you are.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That's crazy. That's
No.
Yeah, you never know. That was the first mouse I've seen that was alive in a house.
Oh, really?
Out of all the houses. I mean, they're probably in there, but I just saw this one like that was a mouse on the second floor.
It was actually in the house while you were looking at the house.
Yeah, I went in, we went up, I looked, and it just I said, oh hell no. He just like hobbled into a pile of rubble. And I never went in that room, by the way. That was the kitchen, but a pile of stuff. So I'm guessing he was like tunneled through it and had a little gangway and a passage or something. I don't know.
So Robert's not so fond of the spiders, and for you, Chris, it's the mice.
Oh, I don't mess with none of them. I call Robert. I ain't messing with none of the creepy crawlies, the flying ones, none of them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, pest control is big money though, because it's always something going on with these properties. Always. So, do you only do residential or commercial and stuff too, or what do you usually aim for, Robert?
Yeah, I do residential, commercial. Just about anything. The only thing I don't do is termites.
I knew it was one you stayed away from. You don't like them termites, huh?
Well, insurance is so high, it makes it not profitable. If you don't have like, the maker of like termite pest or insecticide, you don't have them to vacuum. You're liable for the full amount.
So that's an additional insurance rider or something just for termites?
Yeah. You gotta.
Oh wow.
Going to go get my my insurance for my business. I mean, they give you a long piece of paper. I guess just for pest control because it's got bulbing on there, and I mean, you basically check what you want. Once I found out the price for termites, I was like, I don't think I want that.
Wow.
It's prohibitive. You're not even in Illinois.
But
You're not even in Illinois.
Do you have to be licensed like that for certain areas, or is it just kind of open?
as far as insurance,
No, as far as doing pest control.
yeah, you have to have your commercial license to be able to make money, basically. And yeah, you got to have it in Illinois. Wherever you're at, you have to have a license for that state.
Mm.
And you're heavily regulated, isn't it?
Yes.
So I know you've seen some crazy stuff going into some of these houses, huh?
Oh yeah.
So they called you for roaches, but they got rats, roaches, gnats, and termites. Like, oh hell no.
Hey, Rich, I don't know if you guys already do it this way, but he's an amazing lead source for you, I bet.
That's so true. That's so true. I haven't tapped into him too much about that.
I mean, just think
Yeah,
about
no, you're
all
right.
the people he's walking into distressed properties, people who are probably stressed out. I mean, I know it's not every case, and a lot of it's preventive stuff that he does, I'm sure, but just imagine, he could, even if he just passed you addresses alone for you to call on, that would be an excellent lead source.
That's true.
A couple of years ago, about 5 years ago, I sent you a house that was, do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Hey, I don't know if I want to go down that far.
Yeah, it was way down there. That's true. You did. Yep. You did. Yeah, he does occasionally send me something over, but you're right. You're right. Yeah, you come across anything where the people are just like, oh God, we just want to get out of this house.
Or just a vacant house that's got a pest control problem. If it's vacant,
Yep.
That helps. That's one step closer to saying I may not want it.
Right.
Maybe.
What's your pain point? Pests?
I don't want that house, man. That house right here, problem, man.
That's right. That's right.
So,
Yeah, hey, real quick, get back. So that lead, real quick, Chris, I was telling you about on Laura, 6100 block of Laura there in Walnut
Walnut Park West.
Yes, Walnut Park West. I flat out asked him, so why are you wanting to get out? And their answer was probably atypical. Just want to get out of the area. So I just want to get out. So
wow. So what's been happening in the area? I mean, what's been going on over here? See, I dig a little deeper. I want them to express that pain. Like, why you really? I know why, but I want you to give me a real. Well, they were shooting it every night, the last night for every night. I want to know for sure why you really want to leave. It don't seem like a bad area. Why would you want to leave from over here? Even though you know.
Yeah, right. I mean, and that was it. That was it too. I mean, I got over there and I was actually talking to a buddy of mine on the phone as I'm driving around. I'm like, I don't very much over here. A little bit every once in a while, but not much. I'll be honest. I'm driving around. I'm like, man, I was expecting. At first when I heard the address and the zip code, and I thought it was North County. 63136 in my mind, and immediately thinking North County. So I pulled it up initially, doing my research, and it's nowhere in the county records. I'm like, what the heck am I getting? Did I get the address wrong? Whatever. No, I type it into my real flow. It comes up. What the heck? So I typed in the city assessor site. Sure enough, there it comes up in the city. I was like, son of a gun. So I'm already thinking, man, it's going to be really bad. I'm driving down Laura. I'm like, this street isn't so bad. This is actually, all these houses seem pretty decently kept. It's not bad. And so I did a loop. It was all one way, so I did a loop around, and then next street starts with L also. All Elite or something like that. Mm-hmm. Man, that looked like the junkiest street anywhere that you already immediately think of,
Somebody will still buy it though.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, definitely. You're right. Absolutely. I got a couple folks who said they'd be interested in it if we got it at the right price.
Yeah, it got to be lower than that.
I just made an offer today on a Walnut Park house, and I offered $2,500.
Seriously,
straight faced, loyal, fearless.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I got to get them. I got to talk them down off the ledge. They want $15,000 for it, and it's just been lived in forever. And I knew going in it wasn't going to be $15,000, and I wanted to get there, and get that conversation flowing, plant those seeds in their head that it's not going to be $15,000. You go and hey, look, I can tell you now, I'm probably not going to be near $15,000, and I'm not near it, but I'm going to make sure my numbers are right and then give you a decent offer, but it's probably not going to be anywhere close to that. So trying to let those seeds grow a little bit before I get an actual number.
My guy wanted $15,000 for his too.
Really? 25?
Yeah, that's
all right.
Yeah, and now I also knew he was motivated, right? So, but I'll give you the comp that I painted the picture.
Yeah.
I don't know if the comp. Hopefully, it's in a quarter mile of what you're looking at, but
sure.
I found a comp of a nicer house that sold for $15,000. I showed him how long it was on the market. It was 3.5 months.
Yeah.
Showed him what it was, how that house was. I didn't say it this way, but how it was better than his. And then I pointed out that the neighbors to that house aren't boarded up, and one of his neighbors is boarded up. And I just took my time and painted the picture, and then I just apologetically offered $2,500. And he didn't like it, but he also let me take the contract to him today so he could read it over. So
happens all the
You know.
time. They don't like it initially, but sign right here.
yeah. I said, I'm going to give you a copy of our contract just so that you can read it while you think this over. That way you can ask me any questions that you have while you decide if this price can work.
Sure.
And he couldn't take emails, so I put it in his mailbox. Going above and beyond.
Problemsolvers.com.
Look at you. That's right.
Chris Jackson on Facebook say that street you was talking about around the corner looked like Baghdad.
Yes, it does. He's so right. He's right, man. I mean, I felt bad. I mean, I was driving the street going, man, all right, this is actually a really nice street. I take that turn. I'm like, what is this? Yeah, you're right. It did. What was? Hey, Laura, do you have that comp, or did you want to email it or text it to me?
Yeah, I have it written down, but it's in my office. I'm walking around with my dog
No,
now.
it's no big deal.
I'll text it to you though.
That sounds good. I appreciate it. Yeah, that was the one thing. That was one thing I noticed too. Was when I was looking at comps and stuff. I was like, I think I know which one you're talking about. It was 15 grand sold, and it was completely rehabbed.
So the house you're looking at, does that need any work or something, Rich?
I mean, a little, not a ton. I mean, not a ton. It needs new windows. It needs. I mean, there's for rental rehab and whatever. I mean, the nice thing, it's got hardwood underneath everything, so you could yank up all the old because there's old carpets. So you're just gonna yank up the old carpets. You could refinish those hardwoods, or maybe they're in decent shape. As they are. Because
you know what, Mr. Seller, we just did a house not too far from here, and we paid like $5,000 for that one. I mean, would you consider that? I'll be throwing them soft offers.
Sure, yeah.
Bring them down to earth, because that I mean, I'm sure you can move it if you got it for around that much.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no doubt.
13.
Yeah, where I was at with my numbers, 2,500 is what I want to buy it at, but I would end up letting them sign for as high as 5.
Yeah.
Just painting, planting seeds of doubt, just in case I can't get it done. But I would go as high as 5, but I just knew I couldn't start at 5.
Sure.
So you anchor low, huh? Look at you, Laura.
I anchored really low on this one. Yeah. I also knew the motivation was there because we're going to come to a number one way or the other. So I just wanted to make sure I started out low.
Sure. I'm going to pick on Laura for a second. Were you looking at houses in Anchorage, Alaska or something? Or were you just...
Did I say Anchorage?
You're bundled up. I'm just teasing you. She's got a winter coat on.
The minute I get chilly, I do not mess around.
Because
I can hibernate all winter if I let myself. So I have on almost always 2 pairs of pants. I have on my winter coat as soon as the breeze blows. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty late, miss. It's not as light as it always has been. It's getting dark earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's actually, I actually talked to a couple people this week already saying they're selling their house to move out of the cold weather. Can you believe that?
Are you serious?
Yes. Okay. Why are you selling? I'm moving to Las Vegas. It's warmer out there. I don't want to be in this cold. I'm like, wow, that's a reason why people want to sell, the cold weather.
Right. That's another pain point, man.
And I never even thought about it. It happened twice. I was like, is this the same person? But it was a man and a woman, so I knew it was 2 different people. And 2 different problems.
If you talk to people that maybe they're here, right, and they moved away to someplace warmer for even a while. I mean, a couple of years even, and then they come back here, maybe take care of mom or dad or something, and then now they need to sell the house because they got to get out next to the warm weather because it's cold. I can see that, man.
They even asked me when I was in Vegas, the taxi driver or Uber or whatever he was like, yeah, I used to live in Minnesota. I don't know how anybody stays in those cold climates.
No doubt, man. That is crazy.
I say, you're right. I ain't gonna argue that because I'm probably gonna have to escape this cold place too eventually.
The really cool thing, though, I know it's a little off topic, but little cool thing about like Minneapolis, the city, is that all their buildings downtown are connected with like a sky bridge. So you don't have to get out in the cold weather to walk among the buildings downtown.
Really?
Like their main business district downtown all have a sky bridge across each one. I mean, you may go from building A to building B, then have to walk through building B to get to building C, the sky bridge of building C. But that's pretty, I think that's pretty smart. If you're going to be out there in that cold, man, you might as well have a way.
You say that was in Minneapolis?
Yeah, Minneapolis.
That had to be nice.
Lisa was like that. I actually was here for business one time. It was in February. Like, oh, geez, this sucks. But then that wasn't so bad.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. So it's like you don't even have to go out on that cold.
Not at all. Not at all. Hey, so it got a funny. I got a couple really funny stories this week. People out there with questions and stuff. Let's oh wait, here we go. I got one on Facebook. Got one. So we got a guy out here on our Facebook page. Do you guys deal with sellers who overvalue their own houses frequently? That's John Hassan or John Hostin.
That's 99% of the marketplace.
Absolutely, man. I mean, one of the questions. I mean, I don't know about you guys. Do you have a question as you're going through your list? One of the questions is obviously what do you want for your house, right? Or what are you trying to get for your house? And when I give you a number, my immediate follow-up is how did you come to that number, right? Because some of them are going to be like, it just sounds good. Or they'll tell you that their neighbor 2 doors down sold it for that much.
Yeah.
But not tell you that that's after they fixed it up.
Most definitely. It's automatic follow-up question like that. And also another closing question on a closing call. I asked them, what do you think your house will appraise for? Just to get an idea. If it's all fixed up, perfect condition, what do you think this house is worth?
Yep.
And in their mind, they're like, oh, well, I think it's worth this much. It's something to get some feedback from them because I would need to know what they're thinking. What are they thinking about? What do they come up with this craziness? You know, like a guy I just spoke to today, house in Jennings. He wants $20K for it, and he said it'd been vacant for 10 years. I said, 10 years? Man, that's a long time. I actually streamed it live on my Instagram page, the actual phone conversation. And the guy was like, I want 20,000 for it. And come to find out, he eventually told me that his brother is a trustee on the property and family, so they got to split the money. So that's why they're trying to get that. Because I'm like, yeah, we're closer to around 10. I just threw that soft offer out there. You know, I don't care. So yeah, we'll probably be closer to around 10. Because I was like, you got any other offers on it? And they were like, yeah, we got offers at around 12 to 15, but we ain't really in no rush to sell it. So you don't really need to be talking to me.
That's the key, right? Chris just hit it on the head. I mean, to me, numbers are important as a place to start, and it's definitely important when you're making your offer. But the main thing to key in on is motivation, because lots of times these numbers are kind of pulled out of thin air, or I have so many people tell me that it's based off of an appraisal, and the appraisal's from 2009.
Yeah.
You know, or the appraisals from 2011,
So the county assessment.
Right. So the important thing is to not just bash their numbers. The important thing is to dig in on motivation and find out, because you can figure out numbers later, but you don't want to spend time getting to that point and building the rapport unless you know you're working with someone who's motivated. Yeah. And so one of the questions that Chris Monroe asks, and thank you, Chris, I've learned this from you because I picked this one up. Well, what are you going to do if you don't sell? You know, what's the plan to do with the house if you don't sell? That's not necessarily about number, but it can plant the seed that, hey, I don't think your number's going to work. That's a very subtle planting of that seed. And then even more importantly is asking them, what's your motivation? Like, is this your only hope? You know, I mean, like, because if they just act like it's no big deal if it doesn't sell, or, you know, some people have plan B, C, and D, and those people aren't going to be highly motivated till they work through those plans. Then you just know if it's worth your time to really dig in with numbers and try to get to where they need to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just had, I mean, you got to ask that. And if nothing else, it at least lets them create that doubt in their mind that, oh, wow, yeah, this house may not sell. What am I going to do?
Exactly.
Yeah, I got to take your offer. You know,
what other offers have you received for it so far? I asked them that. I'm not afraid to ask them what kind of numbers you're getting. See, I'm almost fearless when it comes to the questions because that's going to tell me everything. How we're going to close them, how we're going to solve their problem, how we're going to make money, all of that just by positioning yourself right and allowing them to tell you how to close them.
Yeah. John had a follow-up question. Said, so to deal with that, you just have to find comparables and show justifications of your counter?
No, what Laura just said is really focus on the motivation. Yeah. What problem are you solving for them? Are you solving a problem for them, or are you trying to solve your own problem, put some money in your pocket? Right. You got to identify all of their pain and position yourself from there first. The numbers are what the numbers are. We can't really change the numbers too much, but their situation is always going to be different. Was that what you were saying pretty much, Laura?
Yeah, and so like in case John is thinking about my example of the offer I made today where I talked about painting the picture with comps. So I'll just make clear that I used comps today to explain where I was coming at with my number and my offer. But let me be very clear that before I even went to look at the house, I determined motivation. So you don't want to be necessarily, some people do. I don't. I don't want to use comps on my first phone call because I'm not trying to overwhelm them with jargon or anything else. I want to find out what their motivation is, and I want them to get to know me and become comfortable with me because I'm going to be following up. I'm going to be in their home. I'm going to be doing whatever. So as long as that motivation is there and I decide to go to the house, now it's time to make my offer. And when I know that this offer will be coming in significantly lower than what they're asking, or something surprised me at the visit, so I don't think they're prepared. In any case, you just want to paint the picture for the seller how you got to your number. Because just like we talk about, sometimes they pull numbers out of thin air. You don't want them to feel like you, as a professional coming to help them, you don't want them to feel like you pulled the number out of thin air. So I use comps to paint the picture. I usually like to very gently, very nicely compare their property to the comp property or the property I'm using for ARV. And I don't call it ARV. I just say, this is what this really nice house sold for. I probably fixed the house up sort of like this one that I found, and let me tell you what they did over there. And I paint the picture because they know their house isn't quite there. And I kind of use all that to build up to, okay, so with all of that being said, knowing that that's the number I hope to sell the house for after it's fixed up, and then I have to account for, I always make sure I say profit. I'm in business. I have to account for all my profit, I have to account for all my repair costs, and then that brings me to my offer for you, which is I say it and then I shut up. I don't say anything else until they somehow react.
True.
Right.
True.
Key.
Yeah.
Key.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's key. You're right. Before you even get into, price is a secondary thing. It really is. Your first role is to build a relationship. Really it is. So you build a relationship with a person. I'm not talking about so you can ask them out on a date, right? But you're building that relationship, you're building that rapport. That lowers the guard, right? It lowers the walls and gets people to get used to doing this instead of this, and they're not crossing their arm being standoffish as much. You build that up. Because if you don't build that, let's get to price, right? Eventually, because think about it. How many people, even when you're talking to a seller on the phone, isn't one of the first few questions you ask, so how much you want for the house? That's not what you have, right? You're asking other questions, talking about the house, tell me about the house, does it have a garage, whatever. You're asking about the house. And then eventually you get to, so what are you asking for the price? Or what do you want to sell it for? That kind of thing, right? The same thing if you're there, you're not immediately just going to show up to the house and look at it and say, okay, let's talk about that price, right? You're building that rapport, you're building that relationship, and then you can talk about price. Because if you fail at building a good enough relationship, when you do get to the price part, nothing you say is going to matter. They're not going to believe you. You could show them black and white, all the comps you want any day of the week. They're not going to believe them. They're going to think you made it up because they don't trust you.
That's true. Rapport has bought more houses than cash ever will.
Yeah, absolutely.
So most definitely you got to ask the right questions, position yourself right, and really I need to know motivation, why you're doing all this, condition of the property, and that timeline is another important thing. If we're able to work everything out, how soon would you like to close? I need to close tomorrow. I need to close next week. Well, the auction is this. It comes out right there, their motivation. See, these are questions to probe to have them tell you their motivation without directly asking their motivation. Why you motivated? Why you want to sell? I don't ever say those words. I don't even use those words. I say, sounds like a pretty good house. What made you decide to want to sell it? It sounds more conversational. It's not like beating up, why you selling, man? I wouldn't sell this if I was you. Why would you do that? It's never putting myself out of position like that. Use the right words and the world should open up.
True.
And it's just one more time, I pointed this out on other calls, but for me, one of the main things is that lots of times our offers aren't accepted. I've made so much money on follow-up, but follow-up isn't going to get you anywhere if they don't feel like they're not going to answer your call if they don't like you. They're not going to return your text if they don't like you. So my main goal every time I'm working with a new seller is just have them consider me a friend of some sort on some level, because when I follow up with them, if they're unrealistic on number, that's going to be pointed out to them by me, by other people, by time, by the market. Whether I'm the one to do it or not, as long as I'm following up, it's all about timing. I want them to make sure that they're listening to me as I follow up. I want them to be thinking of me as their circumstances change. And I want them to want to do business with me when things line up in the future. So even if it doesn't get you your initial offer done, it really, really puts you in a wonderful position to get the deal done in the future. And I've made a ton of money that way.
Most definitely.
I try to go back to some old, like when I first started, I got a special folder that has a lot of old deals or leads, rather I should say, old leads. So I look and actually try to learn from something. I go through them and I try to scour and look, was there something I could learn from it? And I go back to these and I see, what was their asking price? The asking price was 30,000. And down at the very bottom, I have a little spot where, before I even go, what do I think based on what they told me repairs are needed, and you fit in the formula, what do I think my offer range is going to be? And I'll put the offer range. And I've noticed that if they were asking, say 30, but my offer range was going to be in like 10, 15, I didn't even make the offer. Back in the day when I first started.
Really? You thought that it was too far apart?
Right. I'm like, man, that's way off. Or maybe, they're asking for 100 and I'm at like 50. Oh, there's no way they won't even accept it. And then what I've done is, as I follow up and I'll always plug those addresses into like Zillow or something just to see if they ever sold. Because if they didn't, even 2 years later, 3 years later, 4 years later, I'll call them and I'll follow up. Did you ever sell your house or whatever? So I plug it into Zillow. And I'm not kidding you. How many times I've lost track of how many times I plugged it in, and they wanted 50, but it sold for 15 or sold for 30, and I was too afraid to put in that offer. But yet it sold for less than what I was going to offer.
Exactly, that happened. That's happened to me too in the past. I mean, and that's why I say that question is so important. Even my offer is a question. Looks like everything looks good here, and seeing that we'll pay the closing costs, we'll take the house as is, get this wrapped up in a timely manner. I mean, it looks like we'll be around 15,000. Is that something you would consider? No, I ain't doing no. Or sometimes they say, oh, that's kind of low, complain, and take the offer.
Yep.
So even the offer is a question, because see, if you say my offer is 15, you're stuck at 15 or whatever that number is. That's why I always put it as a question to keep that door open. I mean, looking at all the work it needs, yada, 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 whatever qualification we give for why we came up with that number, looks like we'll be close to around, 30,000. I mean, is that something you would consider? Well, we might consider it, or hell no, we ain't doing it. Or well, let me check with my wife, or whatever, but it's a question. It leaves the door open versus I'm locked into this number. Don't ask me nothing. No more negotiating, because it's probably not my highest offer, my first offer, like you were just saying a second ago, right, Laura?
Yeah. And hey, one of the things I had to, like Rich was talking about past mistakes, I used to always feel like I wanted my offer to get accepted so bad, and I would make a range, like Rich was talking about. I'd figure out a range, and I just could not. This anchoring low concept, I just wouldn't do it. I'd be like, I don't need to make that much of a spread. I just want the deal. I'm gonna walk right in, And I mean, it's just now I'm just like, why was I doing that? I know I was doing it back then. I was in a different mindset and I was less experienced, but yeah, it's just so interesting. But it's just like, even if someone has an adverse reaction to your offer, just whatever you do, don't take it personal, because all they're doing is they're working within themselves. They have their own demons, they have their own things that they're going through, just like we all do, right? Lots of times people have emotional attachments to property, or they realize that they messed up by buying a property, or they realize they didn't take care. It doesn't matter. Remember, they're wrestling with themselves. Don't judge them, and just sit there silently and ready to be able to help them. Because yeah, you're making a low offer, but you're also dealing with a distressed property. You don't need to feel guilty about making a low offer. That's something I struggled with, and you don't have to do that as a wholesaler. You are helping them if it works. You'll know it works when they accept it, right?
True.
If they can't accept it, they won't. And you still shouldn't take that personal, and you should still follow up, or maybe make a little bit higher offer if you can. But just do the dance, have your best intentions to help the person, but don't burn yourself in the process. And you're going to make money, and you're going to help people, and you're going to love wholesaling. Once I got that picture in my mind of what wholesaling was, as opposed to taking advantage or not making as much as some, you know, once I figured out that that was the key, then I mean, everything just took off.
Yep.
That's-
I had a guy, a newbie, if you will, that I've been, working with a little bit, who reached out to me this week on, Rich, there's a hot deal. I got this hot deal. And through his job, he gets to drive through different areas, like especially like Franklin County. Even I don't really deal out there, but I'm like, you know what? We can tackle it. That's fine. We'll tackle it. We can get something done if it's a deal. And he called, oh, it's a sweet deal. Here it is. It's a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath. Blah blah blah. Here's the address. I pull it up, and it's for sale by owner. They driving through the area. They see a for sale by owner sign. And I told them, if you see a for sale by owner sign, call them. You never know. You don't know what the story is. You don't know. They may need to really sell it. They may be distressed, and they just don't know any other way to sell it. They just don't want to hire a realtor. So I said, call it. That's fine. So he calls in. He's talking to him, and it's for sale by owner for $260,000. I'm like, okay. Well, we're talking to the guy. I said, and my partner, I was like, if you're just doing standard 70% model, if this thing didn't need any repairs at all, it needs to be like worth 345. 350 almost, something like that. I can't remember exactly what the number is off the top of my head. So he's like, yeah. So we look into it. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to pull it up and see. Sure enough, it's been fully rehabbed. So it is ready to sell. But the comps are like 160. And he's trying to sell it for 260.
What are you trying to do? Get rich? He's trying to get your first name.
Yeah. I was like, you know what? That's fine. Call him and tell him, look, our offer's going to be about 110. And see if he's interested. I say he's not going to be, but at least put the offer in. So he called him back. He said he got hung up on. I was like, yeah. I said, don't worry. He's not mad at you. He's not mad at you for the offer. He's mad at himself because he knows he bought it too high, and he knows he spent too much on his rehab, and he's not going to get his money back, and he knows it.
Oh, so this was a flipper, I guess, trying to sell it?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it's a flipper. I don't know who it is, but if it was a newbie doing an inexperienced first flip, I don't know.
Oh.
There's no way, because I saw he had bought it 4 years ago, so I don't know if it's a flipper or if it was somebody who was fixing it up as they lived in it, kind of thing. And they bought it for like 140 3.5 years ago.
Yeah, it ain't worth that kind of money. Not that quick.
No.
Not out in the middle of the sticks. It don't go up that quick out there.
No.
Yeah, they people do that a lot of times. And also to add to what y'all were saying a little bit ago about working those numbers and stuff with the seller. I always remember I negotiate with the buyer too. I push a seller down and a buyer up a little bit to make that number make sense for everybody. Just because a buyer say they'll give this number don't mean they locked into a number neither. Don't ever forget to negotiate on the opposite side as well. Do you do stuff like that too, Laura and Rich and Robert?
I've had two deals just in the last week that I'm, I called a buyer today on a property, and he's like, well, what do you want for it? And I haven't started marketing yet. I'm actually, I don't know if I want to keep it for myself actually as a rehab. I'm thinking about keeping it as a rehab myself, or keep it as a rental maybe, or whatever. But I reached out to him and said, are you looking, because I know he's interested in that area. So are you interested in this area? He said, yeah, let me go take a look at it. So I let him go look at it, and he called back, what do you want? I was like, well, I haven't started marketing yet, but I'm thinking this price, 32, whatever it was. So I think that's what it was like. So will you take anything less than that? I said, for you, because I know you and you'll do it, I'll do 30, but that's it. And he goes, well, how about, and I said, look, I've got another guy that would be interested at 35. So 30 it is, or else you can't get it done. That's fine. I'll just keep it myself. But yeah, I've done that. Another one's like, look, Laura and I were working on a deal together fairly recently where we went back and forth a couple times with the buyers. Like, are you going to pay closing costs or not? Yeah, you need to pay closing costs. Well, I was going to offer this. Well, will you pay this and the closing cost? So we were negotiating back and forth with the buyer and got it done. But yeah, sorry.
You're right.
The one I was just at when I was coming home from this call, got a full price offer, showed it to 2 buyers at the same time. One of them 10 minutes after we all left offered full price. So I was happy. But I also remembered that I had a buyer who could not get in earlier today, no fault of his. We didn't have something correct with the locks. And so now I'm getting into like a highest and best, so I'm kind of like, it's one of those situations I always try to tread carefully, right? Because like I really want to do right by my buyers. I want to make it quick and easy for them. I want them to feel happy and confident, but also I don't want to give my money away. So
exactly.
Yeah, so I feel like so that's what we're doing. We're gonna just keep no new. Well, I shouldn't say that. I'm not fishing for any new offers, but I'm letting this other gentleman go and look tomorrow. And I've already told the buyers who made the offer, I appreciate your offer. I'm very open to this. It's obviously full asking, but I really think it's fair to let this other guy look who was there today and didn't get the chance. And then I told the other guy, I'm actually working on this one with Keith Winkler. So Keith actually told the other guy, hey, just so you know, we've already got a full price offer. We need your highest and best, and we're going to let them counter. So we're trying to set it up to where we can draw out the best numbers from the buyers. Try to stretch it a little bit. We thought we were priced slightly over, what it would sell for, and we just underpriced it a little bit apparently. And so we're going to see what we can get out of it. But I will always warn myself and others not to push too hard because these are investor buyers, and you want them to come back to you time and time again. So don't do them wrong.
Yeah, and you're doing the right thing. You're not, it's not like you did anything, shady or, I'm going to trick you or this and that. And I hate when people call on a house and they're like, well, would you take any less? And I'm like, why you negotiate with me right off the rip? You ain't even looked at it. And we might sell it for full price while you playing around. And I will sell it for full price or more if somebody come with more. I try to be fair, but you playing around, you're going to find out who you playing with.
Yeah. The EMD hits.
One of the things that I've come to do is, and I mean, this is generally something I have to do with newer buyers. This isn't something with, the people I've dealt with over the years, but that when I get offers before anybody sees it, I mean, the first thing I just say is, I just say, honestly, I can't take any offer seriously unless someone has looked at the house. Because how many times have I had my time wasted or whatever with these offers that people haven't even looked? So I don't make it a requirement because I know I work with some out-of-state buyers or people who literally are more hands-off. But if it's someone that I don't already know is like that, I just say, I can't take your offer seriously unless you've not seen the property or had someone go out there on your behalf. I really would warn wholesalers not to take too much time with those types of offers.
Like Rich just said, until the deposit is dropped, but marketing don't stop. I'm all about who dropped that money first. They can play. You can go see it if you want to, but I have had buyers buy property sight unseen.
Oh yeah, me too.
That's why I do a lot of pictures and video walkthroughs. So people that are out of town, because we know people in St. Louis kind of cheap. I want to sell to that dude in California, Nevada, Colorado, wherever they're at. I'd rather sell them because they'll look at the pictures and video and they'll close on it. They don't even need to come see it.
Yep. Yeah, one of which actually reminds me, I've got a buyer from California who bought a house from me. He's actually in town managing the rehab. He's looking for more properties that need very little work that he can flip. Obviously, that's anybody and everybody, right? But let me know if you've got anything that needs very little work that he can flip.
Where though? St. Louis or?
He's open to Illinois too. So.
Okay, I got one for him coming up here in the next 24 hours. Just waiting on the contract to come back. It might have came while I was sitting here.
Okay, yeah, let me know
if you're ready to buy, nice and cheap too.
Hey guys, it's been awesome. I'm going to jump off right now. I've got a call coming up at 7, but glad I got to be with y'all for a little bit. And thank you so much.
I've got a call with Rick Buck and John Smoltz here in a minute too.
Yeah, Rich only got 5 minutes and he getting off anyway. So
I see. He's doing baseball this year. I took the year off of baseball, but
yeah.
I hope your people are in the World Series. I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah. They can win it tonight. Laura. They can win it all tonight.
Wow, we're that far. I guess it is the end of October. So awesome. Thanks, everybody. We'll see y'all soon.
Thanks, Laura, for jumping on. Appreciate it.
Nice to meet you, Robert. Bye.
You too.
Yeah, Robert, what do you think about all this so far? Anything you want to add to any of this convo we've been talking about so far?
I've learned a lot in the past 45 minutes.
So we hit you with a lot of stuff quick, huh?
Yeah. Now, did either one of you, do you come down this far?
I'll do a deal in anywhere in Egypt if you let me. I don't care. I'll do a deal wherever. If the numbers make sense and we can do the paperwork and the money can go over. Real estate can get in the way. Real estate deals with what? Paperwork. If that paperwork right and the check clear, I ain't got no fear.
And my mindset has actually changed in the last year. This last year, I've tried to not let geography get in the way either. I've tried to make it more like Chris will do virtual stuff all the time, man. I mean, Chris, how far away have you done a house? You bought and sold a house?
Virginia. Portsmouth, Virginia, $34,000 spread. I can't even get a deal like that in St. Louis. Like, shit, I gotta go out of town.
I've reached out to a guy that's in this series that I've been in recently with Real Flow that just met up with him because I was rewatching the webcast and a number kept popping up on the webcast. I didn't know how. It was a Zoom and it kept popping up this number on the the rewatch or whatever you want to call it, the replay. And I just texted that number. I was wondering if that was the host or who it was. They're like, no, this is so and so person. I'm like, I don't know why your numbers. Anyway, long story short, he's from Indianapolis. I'm like, you know what? I wanted to branch out and look in Indianapolis. My brother was living in Indianapolis for a while, but I threw that pitch too late. He was moving back like a week before after I reached out to him. So if I'm looking into maybe marketing some deals in Indianapolis, would you partner with me? This guy.
All you need is boots on the ground. Yeah, that's all you need is some boots on the ground. You ready?
I basically said, hey, tell me where to market. What 2 areas are good areas to market for good deals there? And gave me those 2 areas, and I said, sweet. Now if I get deals, will you go up and meet and take pictures and all that stuff? He's like, yeah. Like, sweet. We're going to try to do it virtual. So that's the same thing. Robert is, my opinion has changed over this last year, especially the last 6 months, about being just St. Louis.
And I mean, and the guy I got coming on this Monday night on Monday the 2nd of November, RJ Bates, he did 50 deals in 50 states on his computer like we're doing right now. Every day he got on a thing and did all those deals across the United States. Didn't go to no house, locked up multiple deals, closed several deals already, right from the seat of his computer. So he showed us right in real life that you can do this. You don't need to be there as long as you got somebody there to be boots on the ground, but you can find it if you find a deal.
Right. It was like 50 states in 50 days.
Yeah, 50 deals in 50
states, 50 days, something like that.
Yeah, I was like, dang. And then so many people like, oh man, it changed their mindset. Because like I came in the game virtual. My first 3 deals were virtual. I never met them people. I met some buyers, but I didn't meet them sellers. I don't need to meet them. Paperwork right. Especially on a vacant property. Can I get in it? Yep, the key in the mailbox. Great. Here's paperwork. Yep, great. Looks good. Sign here. And as long as they go to title company and sign off on whatever they need, and you don't even got to do that now. They even doing that virtual. Everything's virtual now.
Yeah.
Even the closing they doing virtual notary. They're doing virtual everything, virtual reality. Put your glasses on.
It is, man. So even if you come across new, looks like it might be a good deal, man. Send them out to somebody, either me or Chris or Laura, even or somebody, and we'll try to work on them because I know my mindset's a lot different now.
Yep. If anybody want to send me a deal that's watching or listening on the streams, Chris@wokerealestate.com. That's the email to send to me. Chris@wokerealestate.com. And what you got going on that background back there, Rich? What's going on with the upcoming streams?
Yeah. So these are the next Hooties meetings. We got November 3rd is our regular monthly meeting. It's election day. That is election day, so everybody go out and vote either before or after. 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. virtual meetup. Then November 10th, we got another one of these simulcasts at 6 p.m. Central Time. I always do this backward. 6 p.m. Central Time, November 10th. So it'll be a week after the election. We'll know the results. Maybe we'll know the results by then. And then November 19th, we're having another face-to-face meeting at the Hooters in Maryland Heights, 6 p.m. If you're a St. Louis local person or you want to just come in to hang out with us because we seem so cool, that's fine. November 19th, face-to-face, 6 p.m. Hooters, Maryland Heights in the St. Louis area.
So that must be the 3rd Thursday.
That's the 3rd Thursday. We're going to try to do 3rd Thursday face-to-face meetups.
Okay, cool.
You down with that? Come on up, buddy. You come on up. It's 3rd Thursday face-to-face at the PM. That's the thing. We always do those. The first Tuesday of the month face to face, but since COVID, we've been doing it virtual. This time, really face to face in the PM, so people can't have that excuse. I had to work during the day. So get out and meet face to face with other city customers in the area.
They're gonna say, "I can't do it. I can't be there." Excuses.
I have to talk to the boss first.
I know that's right. Anything you want to add, Robert, before we wrap this thing up?
No, not really.
All right.
He does good work. He does. I let him take care of all my pest problems and rentals, and not just because he's a family. He does a good job. Follows up. Good. Take care of it.
I know that's right. So, yeah. Anything else you want to add, Rich?
No, just keep at it. I mean, you never know. That's the greatest thing about this business is every day you will learn something new if you're actually doing something. Whether you've been in it for 50 years or 50 seconds, you'll learn something new. Every phone call you make, every whatever. I mean, you will learn something new.
I know that's right.
We thought we put in a lowball offer that 3, 4, 5 years ago I may not even put in an offer in because the seller out front said, "Don't make us a lowball offer. We want 50." Our offer was at 31.5, and they were delightfully surprised and accepted.
That's right. They better take it and get on, right? They try to do a scare tactic. It's part of negotiations. Try to make you scared to say your number. Hey, my number is what it is, man. I ain't no biggie. Unless you want to take these terms, we can work something out now. But if you want that, hey, I can't do nothing to save you.
Right.
So that's going to do it. All right. I guess we'll catch you on the next one, which is election day, selection day. Go vote and then come bring your sticker and Rich will give you 10% off. Just making it.
That's right. 10% off our free membership.
There you go. All right, Rich and Robert, y'all have a great one. All right.
All righty. Take care. Thanks, Chris.
All right.
Thanks, Robert. Yep. Thanks, everybody on the interwebs.
On the interwebs, give this video a thumbs up, give it a like, give it a share, and we'll see you on the other one. All right. Peace. Peace in the Middle East, in these streets. And that's how we do it, family, right here. Each and every other Tuesday night, we come on with Rich Groves. If you ever want to be added to the actual notification list, you can go to right there at the bottom of that flyer, stlviplist.com. That's where you go. If you want to get that, that'll get you on if you want to come on to the stream, or I actually put the link up at wokerealestate.com this time. So if you want to find out more about contracts, cool gear, or the coaching, check it out, wokerealestate.com. That's the website to get everything you need to help you learn everything from the rooter to the tutor. We'll be talking that real estate talk. Plus, don't forget to join that free Facebook group, the Woke Real Estate Investing Group on Facebook, talking about subject to, talking about lease options, talking about wraparound mortgages, and a whole lot more. Come on by, say hi, join the free Facebook group, Woke Real Estate Investors on Facebook. And if you're listening on the Woke Real Estate Podcast, give us a 5-star rating because we're on Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Amazon. There's not one on there for that. So give us a thumbs up, give us a like, give us a share, and I will catch you on the next one. I say thanks, guys. Thanks, Chris. Cool. We'll see you on the next one. All right. Also, if you want to be notified of the upcoming Monday shows, I almost forgot about that. All you have to do is text JV to 31996. That'll get you on the free joint venture agreement, and you'll be on the notification list as well. So you'll know when we go live. Like I said, we're on this Monday, the 2nd of November with RJ Bates, the 3rd. The following week, which is November the 9th, we're on with Miss Kayla Buys Houses, virtually knocking down deals left and right. We're going to bring her on the 9th of November. So we'll catch you on one of those streams. If I don't see you out in these real estate streets, follow me on all social media outlets at Chris Monroe STL. That's Snapchat, that's Twitter, that's Instagram, that's Facebook, that's YouTube. Don't forget the YouTube with over 250 free real estate training videos. So do what you do, be who you be, and I'll see you before you see me. Peace. Today's broadcast is being brought to you by WokeSkipTracing.com. Look up phone numbers and email addresses with ease, with pricing as low as only 15 cents per match, not per search, per match. If there's no number or email address, you don't pay. Get accurate data in just minutes. WokeSkipTracing.com. That's WokeSkipTracing.com.